Husband had an affair with his coworker because she got in his head for 8 months. I, 22F, and my husband, 24M, have been married 10 months and he's been cheating on me with his coworker, 35F, for 8 months. This woman is a hoe. She has 3 different baby daddies and she's clearly not okay in the head. She may act normal around other women, but when she's alone with a man she says and does questionable and weird things. One time she slept with her stepdad. She was maybe 22 and he was well in his mid-40s, short, chubby, and not very attractive. So now the relationship with her mom is ruined and she also calls her daughter a hoe. Anyways, his coworker has become obsessed with my husband and he went along with it. Yes, it was my husband's fault for even talking to her in the first place, which I am mad at him for, but she is also very controlling and knows how to get men to like her. Sadly, he's always had girlfriends since we've been dating, but it never bothered me because he would always show me their messages or funny stuff they talk about throughout the day. I never asked him to do this, but he would just want to tell me everything. But with this woman, he was always so secretive, which is why I suspected something from the start. They would talk 24/7 for like 6 months straight. Until out of nowhere they started getting into arguments, so they slowly stopped texting each other all the time. My husband likes to drink, and the other day I was driving back home and he passed out in the passenger seat with his phone unlocked. I never have access to his phone, so I decided to look through their messages, and it turns out I was right and they were having an affair. I had asked my husband many times over the past months what was going on between them and he always said she's just a good friend. I never believed him. Since knowing her, he's bought her maybe $5,000 worth of gifts since they've been dating and denied buying her any of it until I showed him bank statements and receipts, so there's probably more that I missed. Well, the next day when he woke up I told him we needed to get a divorce because I wasn't going to be with a pathological cheater and liar. I told him I read all the messages and finally admitted what he was doing. He claimed she got into his head and knew how to manipulate him. She is a home wrecker. My husband's other coworker, Kevin 50M, went through the same shit with her like 8 years ago and it also ruined his marriage. My husband is good friends with Kevin, so they hang out a lot, so as a result I'm cool with his wife. It turns out she hates this woman to death because of what she did to Kevin but is still with him. Mostly for their kid but also because she still loves him. So now what do I do? My husband said that he's sorry, but he swears on our kid's life he hasn't slept with her, only kissed her, and I have reasons to believe he's telling the truth. They would never hang out in person after work and he's a hard worker, so I know they wouldn't spend more than a few minutes at a time together while working. My husband puts a lot of effort into his work and is constantly getting compliments from the higher up, and I know that wouldn't be possible if he constantly saw her at work. With that said, he has since cut her off completely, avoids her at work, starts and gets off earlier so he can leave before she gets to work, and even gave me his phone password so I could look through his phone whenever I want. He says he's sorry and doesn't know what got into him, but he only loves me and doesn't want to ruin our family. We have 2 toddlers. He's been doing everything he can since to make it up to me. Unfortunately, I can't forgive him for what he's done, but should I stay with him? I would honestly just be using him for money because I don't see him the same, and he knows it but doesn't care as long as he's with me. He would be doing his own laundry, cleaning, and cooking for himself, so I won't be helping him out with anything. Plus, I have no income. Our relationship isn't toxic, so we'd still do stuff as a family. He works nights, so I always sleep alone in bed with my 2 kids, and he sleeps all day, so I don't really see him because I go out with the kids. It would only be on his 2 days off, which I think is fine. Should I stay? I could use this to my advantage because I would like to get back at him for what he's done. But am I taking it too far? Or should we each go our separate ways?